And we are live. Oh, fantastic. It's been a hell of a week, guys. I've got to be honest. So Bison Relay came out almost a week ago today. So it's last Tuesday, practically Wednesday, actually. And since that time, it's just sorry, that's Bison Wallet. I keep saying Bison Relay. Um, Bison Wheeler, Bison Wallet came out like practically a week ago today, and since that time, we've just seen so much happening, and it's been absolutely amazing. It's so great to see so many different communities getting involved and trying this stuff out. Before we go into that, I want to play a new intro. This was made by Crumbles, who's one of the Decred contributors. He's absolutely amazing with his video graphics and stuff. So let's play the intro, and then we'll get into everything. We'll do my elevator speech and all the rest of it. So here we go.
In the world of centralized exchanges, opportunities are hidden in the price, and profits can be found where others see only chaos. Arbitrage is the art of buying low and selling high instantly. In the crypto universe, prices can vary across exchanges. Bison Wallet's arbitrage bot can spot the differences before anyone else. Price changes, fees, and network delays can eat into profits. As the crypto world evolves, so do the opportunities for arbitrage. With new exchanges, decentralized finance platforms, and cross-chain technology, the possibilities are endless. In the end, it's not just about making profits, it's about mastering the digital frontier. Go to bisonwallet.org and trade USDC, USDT, and various coins with the integrated arbitrage bot tools. Free and decentralized atomic swaps.
Fantastic. Such amazing work, actually. I love all that sort of stuff. And it seems like a bit of a mix between AI and kind of his own kind of spin on the graphics, which is absolutely great. I think it portrays Bison Wallet so well. So, how I like to start these shows, as many of you may already know, is to introduce Decred as if you've never seen it before and have some kind of elevator pitch to kind of go into that. So, today's all about the return of fundamentals. Now, blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, they were all meant to bring change to a world of finance, which was deeply corrupted and still is. And nothing's really changed in that part, apart from the majority of crypto projects have kind of joined the bandwagon. They've joined the bandwagon of extracting value from users in multiple ways, but mainly rent-seeking middlemen. So let's look at the fundamentals, and I've kind of categorized these when you're searching for a project that you're interested in. I've categorized these into four basic concepts, four basic things that you should really look at as a first point of call. Now, the first is sound money. Now, the idea with sound money is that the money supply should be deterministic and limited. Um, my preferred deterministic supply is 21 million, just purely because that was the level set, and it doesn't really seem to be any reason to go away from that. I also prefer the 8 decimal places as well. You do see some of these that have got 16 and 32 decimal places. I don't see the need for that. When you break it down into that individual basis, there's still like 2.1 quadrillion units when you do it as eight decimal places. So there's plenty for everyone. So the first one is sound money. The second one is decentralization. The idea with decentralization isn't about spinning up a node on AWS and having a million nodes spin up on AWS and hoping that because it's been done by 10 million people that makes it any different. Decentralization is really about how optimized a project can be so that anybody can actually run it. So the idea being that if you have small resources or a small amount of resources, you should be able to participate in any part of the network. You know, if it costs you millions and millions of dollars or pounds or whatever to actually participate, that really does prove, or not prove, but it does say, hey, maybe this isn't so decentralized. And the reason being is that not everybody can participate. And that's really what the decentralized nature of these things means, is that anyone can participate, anyone can spin up a full node, anyone can validate anything on the chain and make sure it's present and correct. So sound money, decentralization. The third point is peer-to-peer. And this is the idea of being able to transact with somebody, me to you, rather than me through some middleman to you. So just removing all the middleman concepts, peer-to-peer. And as we now have seen with Bison Wallet, the idea of peer-to-peer exchange is now been introduced, and it's absolutely amazing, and it works, which is absolutely great. So you're no longer trusting a centralized exchange or a liquidity provider or anything like that. You are the person that's trading with the person on the other end, and there's no front running or anything like that. So we've got sound money, decentralization, peer-to-peer, and then the final one, probably arguably as high up on this list, is the idea that everyone should be able to hold their own coins. The idea of non-custodial coins, your keys, your coins, so that you are not trusting somebody, some exchange somewhere to actually hold your coins. You are doing that all by yourself, and you're taking that responsibility, and it is a responsibility. If you don't back up your seed phrases properly, if you install lots of malware onto your computers, you're putting yourself at risk, but that is your responsibility. And that's the way it should be, to take ownership of these things rather than to trusting centralized middlemen or centralized exchanges. So the four fundamental principles of blockchain and this whole movement that we're trying to create: sound money, decentralization, peer-to-peer, and non-custodial. There's a whole bunch of variations on them, but that's really what we're all about. And when we're building this tech, we're putting those four things first. So that's the nature of today's discussion, putting those four things first. And let's see how many of these projects actually come even remotely close to that. Now, for one thing, Decred, in terms of Bison Relay and Bison Wallet, have built two fantastic products that are coming ridiculously close to every single one of them. Sometimes through iteration, but more often than not, we're pretty much there now. It's absolutely amazing to see. So let's bring up my first screen. So let's do the big things that have happened this week. So the first thing, hopefully you guys saw it. If you haven't, well worth a watch. Myself and Exodus, we did a live stream yesterday, and it was a bit hickledy-pickledy, but the idea was very simple. We were giving away Decred, we were giving away Matic, and we were trying to get people onto the Bison Wallet exchange and to try it out for themselves. And generally, I think it was very successful. We got 7 people on board in the end, and a whole bunch of them have now posted screenshots of them doing their first trade, which is absolutely amazing. And yeah, it is great to see. So if you're wondering, excuse me a minute, if you're wondering how to get on to Bison Wallet and to start trading, and if you need some funds, then obviously we can sort that out. It's not a problem. We'll get you started. And we're doing lots of giveaways this week, next week, and going on into the future. We're going to try and onboard as many people as we possibly can. And that's really what Decred today is all about. I want you guys, if you're tuning into this, I want you guys to try out these products. As I've said in previous shows, the time for talk is over. We no longer want to talk, oh, this could be good, this might be good. Crypto is at a time where it should either work or it doesn't. It works or it doesn't. All of this rubbish about, oh yeah, in 10 years time this is going to be built, so you should invest now. No, that time is past. It either works or it doesn't, and Decred have proven this. We've got several products actually, but the two newest ones, Bison Relay and Bison Wallet, are putting our best foot forward, and we're showing the world that actual fact this peer-to-peer decentralized tech works, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And we want you guys to try it, and that's what Decred today is all about. And if you want to try it, remember, this is a community show. So if you want to come on and you want to try this, I'll tip you. I'll send you some funds for your participation, and you can give your honest feedback. And that's what we're all about here. So in order to get started with Bison Wallet, unfortunately, we haven't had a rebrand of the website yet. We're still at dex.decred.org, but the new fancy pants website is coming. It's going to be amazing. But you can just come to this website, and you can scroll down, and then you can install the installer for your program. So if you're on Windows, or if you're on Mac, or if you're on Linux, you can actually it's just Mac and Windows for the moment that have got installers. You can just press the installer and you're good to go. And it works just like any installer. It's absolutely amazing. And the setup process, when I went through it, it was ridiculously simple. It took me less than 5 minutes, and really and truly, I had no worries. I didn't have to ask any questions. And the one-click wallets were so easy to set up. It was ridiculous. But as I said in yesterday's show, we will be coming out with some tutorials. We're also tapping up some of the other communities for tutorials to how to install the the wallets that aren't one click, like Digibyte, Pharaoh, Zcash, Dash. And the hope will be going forward that we'll get all of these wallets as these one-click wallets to make it even easier. But like I said, it's ridiculously easy, and this is how you can get started. Download the installer and try it out. And that's dex.decred.org. So let's have a look at what's going on in the Decred space this week. So we've had a few things happen. Let me just refresh this. It's clocked out at the minute. So we've had a few things happening. The first is in the mempool, the treasury spend has just been confirmed. So 4,374 Decred is going out to contributors. And this is our decentralized treasury. So for anyone that's kind of thinking about getting a decentralized treasury or what's the benefit of decentralized treasury, you've got to look no further than this. This is completely decentralized. There's one key to activate the spend process, and then all the members or the people with tickets then vote on whether that spend should be sent out or not. And it's absolutely amazing. And you can see all this process here. So you can see over the course of 7 days, we've had 16,000 eligible votes, of which 3,408 have been yeses, which was 64% in that participation. And then 1,051 have been no's, that's 23%. The overall turnout still quite low, 27%. But really and truly, when you've got 4,459 votes going through, that's enough to kind of say yes or no, which is absolutely amazing. And it's gone off. So now we're just going to wait up to, I think it's 24 hours, and then this will be sent to all the contributors on the list. And you can see all of the spends happening here. So this is all of the contributors that are currently going through the process. If you are interested in joining Decred as a contributor, we have this saying where you show by doing first. So if you're interested in doing this stuff and you have a particular skill, show us that skill and then get in touch. And then with a proposal, you can actually start thinking about receiving Decred and earning Decred. It's yet another thing that I really like about Decred. It's one of the things that drew me into it. It was on one of Exodus's news shows once. He said, look, same as what I've just said to you guys then, look, if you want to be a contributor, show us what you can do. So for about 6 to 8 months, what I did is I started creating videos on this channel here, actually. So if you scroll back, you can actually see all my first videos. And then Exodus actually got in contact with me and said, hey, do you want to be a contributor on the video proposal? And I was flabbergasted, actually. I was like, oh wow, so this does actually work. They've seen my work, and at the time I wasn't actually in a lot of contact with the team. I just wanted to do it. I wanted to learn about Decred. I wanted to learn about all the different mechanisms and kind of what it was about. With the aim of becoming a contributor, I wanted to get involved in this, and I really feel that if crypto is going to work, you really need to be able to earn it. You need to be able to save it. You need to be able to earn it. And you need to be able to spend it. And really and truly, those first two things Decred has in abundance. We're still working on the spending side of things, but I think most cryptos are. But I mean, this mechanism that we have for actually earning and putting up proposals and putting your best foot forward is absolutely amazing. So also on this page, so we're at $2,600 per ticket now. So it's come down a little bit. So we're still in this really cheap range. Last week and the week before, we got up to over 3,000, which was it's great for the value prospects. But in terms of being able to buy a ticket, there is no better time. So 222 Decred will buy you a ticket. And if you own a ticket, they vote approximately every 28 days. So every 28 days for a ticket, you will get 1.28 Decred, which is an absolutely amazing reward. As you can see at the moment, there's over 10 million staked. So the stake pool, the tickets that get staked can be in the ticket pool for up to 144 days, but on average, they do vote in, I think it's 28 days. The ticket algorithm does adjust, so there will only ever be just short of 41,000 tickets, and you can see we're ever so slightly under that target now, and this will fluctuate, and that's where these ticket prices come from. So as the ticket price goes up, you'll see more enter this, or as the ticket price comes down, vice versa. But ultimately, the ticket pool size is aimed at getting towards that 41,000 tickets, a limited supply of tickets at all time. And it's an absolutely amazing system, actually. So the best way to earn Decred at the moment is staking, and obviously being a contributor. Mining rewards are quite low, but so is the hash rate as well. So in actual fact, if you've got some GPUs and you fancy giving this a go, that's also a possibility. And then finally, we head over to the Treasury. So this is what we're playing with at the moment. The Decred Treasury at this ridiculously low price of $11.77. We've actually got over $10 million worth of Decred in the Treasury. So almost 900,000 Decred in the Treasury, minus 4,000, obviously, that's just about to come out for the latest T spend, which is absolutely amazing. You think Decred is 8 years old and it's still got an absolute abundance of DCR ready to give to contributors. And it is important to say that Bison Wallet was built with this money. So approximately $1 million already over the last 7 years has been spent on the Bison Wallet, or DCRDEX as it was called before. And these are the results we're starting to see now, which are absolutely phenomenal. In terms of exchange rate, if we click on the exchange rate now, and I know I've shown you guys this before, but what's really interesting, if you come over to the left-hand side, is the amount of volume. So remember, Bison Wallet only released just under a week ago, and look at the volume that we're already getting. The spread is already up, so I think there's about 2% spread here, but we're already looking at kind of disentangling ourselves with the Binance exchange and the common exchanges. We're starting to build our own markets, and ultimately that's what Bison Wallet was all about. It was all about finding a proper price through proper trades, and no more of this kind of wash trading with fake volume, as we've seen so many times. With Bison Wallet, it all happens on chain, so you get to see exactly what the volume looks like. And personally, I can't wait to see all the other pairs turn up. And I've said this a few times in the Matrix channels, but I would really like something bigger to be done with this, maybe even as part of the next proposal, to actually build this out so we get like a coin market cap situation for all the coins that are available on Bison Wallet. You actually get to see all the information here. And I think in terms of peer-to-peer decentralized exchanges, that would actually be amazing to see exactly what's going on. And I mean, the volume already, if we just zoom in, the blue part is Bison Wallet, the yellow part is Binance, which are our main pairs. But if you see all that volume that's already come in, so over 1,000 or just under 1,000 on the buy side, just over 1,000 on the sell side. But you can already see right up on the margin, we're right there, which is absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. I think that's pretty much all we need to do on DCR data. But there's a wealth of information here. If you have any questions, obviously chuck me a question and I will answer. Always glad to answer. It looks like I've only got one person watching in a minute, so a bit of a light turnout. In future weeks, we are hoping to get some guests on, so hopefully we'll make it a bit more interesting. Still playing around with the format of the show, but if you've got any suggestions for how to improve it, greatly received always. So Politeia, this is something I don't think we've shown too much of. This is our voting platform, which is soon going to be moving to Bison Relay. So Bison Relay is getting web pages. The first two web pages that are going to be available for contractors, or the first one is already available for contractors, and that's CMS. And then Politeia, hopefully either later in the year or at some point next year, we'll start to see Politeia turn up. And this platform here, this proposals.decred.org, will turn into a read-only platform. So if you're interested, we've got 1 day left, so you're going to have to be quick on this. It looks like it's going to fail at the minute. But if you're interested in Keystone Hard Wallet, and you haven't voted yet, you want to get your vote in. This ends in a day's time. At the moment, it looks like it will probably fail. The actual proposal spec was for a year's worth of work, and $90,000 to get the Keystone wallet implemented initially into the Crypto Power wallet, but then later on into things like, or be able to integrate with the Cake wallet wallet. So it could be interesting. It's not something that I would probably use. I'm not a massive fan of hardware wallets, but if you are a person that's into your hardware wallet and you know of Keystone, you think this could be good. Obviously, you know, well, you've only got a few more days, well, one day, less than one day to kind of have your say on that and get your vote in. Um, yeah, I mean, it does need quite a few, unfortunately. It might just be bad timing, I think. It'd be nice to learn more about Keystone. And maybe it'd be nice if the price of Decred was a little bit higher. I think most people are kind of pulling in their wallets at the minute, thinking that we might still have a little way to go before this 4-year bear cycle is over, and we start moving into more prominent fields. But that being said, this last week we have definitely seen a lot more momentum, a lot more positive momentum coming into Decred, which I think is absolutely amazing. And obviously that's purely because of Bison Wallet and what it has to offer. It's looking promising. So the last one, let's do some of the news feeds. Excuse me a sec. See, normally I'd ask Exodus every time I have a coughing fit because I've talked too much. I normally ask Exodus to kind of take over for me, keep the conversation going. But that's the problem with doing it on your own. If you do want to come on the show and talk about the things that you've been up to, that'd be great. Like I said, I'm hoping to get some of these guys on in future weeks. The Desert Links, Rubin, and a few others. Once Bison Wallet gets a little bit more established, I want to get these guys on to try it out and do some onboarding there. But if there's anyone else that you'd like me to onboard, obviously let's make that conversation happen. So the first one, Pharaoh has just gone through some kind of voting process to finalize this round of how the next stage of their distribution is going to happen. And the only reason I've kind of put this on there is because I think there's one area here that I'm really interested in to see if it works. Now, to my knowledge, and it's this one here, this Tailor Mission. To my knowledge, there's only one project out there at the moment, and that's Monero, that actually does this Tailor Mission. And I really want to see over the next maybe 5-10 years what impact it has on the project. Obviously, with Pharaoh and Monero, because they're not 21 million capped, they won't lose their 21 million status, if you like. Whereas if Decred went to this mission, this Tailor Mission stage, that they would lose that, because obviously once the Tailor Mission hits a certain point, it actually keeps producing at a certain rate. So the rate that, and I'm so sorry, but I can't remember what the block timings are. I think they're the same as Dash. I think they're 2.5 minutes. So for every block or every 2.5 minutes, if that's correct, they're going to fix their Tailor Mission at one Pharaoh, and that's going to be infinite, or presumably until they have another vote to kind of jig it up a little bit. Until that point happens, and once again, I do apologize, I'm not sure how many coins are in circulation at the moment. My guess is probably about the same as Decred, probably about 16 million. So what they're saying here, that until that happens, that they are going to keep their distribution going. So this 6.25 is going to be what it is. No more halvings. It's going to go all the way to 21.4 million, and then the Tailor Mission is going to kick in. Presumably, that will probably be in 1 to 2 years, I suspect. I'm not 100% sure about that. I'll have to find out. Another interesting thing about this, and I've seen a lot, and Jake tweeted this week about people realizing that there's an entity. And one thing I mean, Decred did ours now 2 years ago. We started ousting the entity, or the mining cartel, or TS, or whatever you want to call it. And I'll probably get a whole bunch of scrutinisms because I've said that. But it's a fact. You know, there is some kind of entity out there that has a lot of dominant mining power. And Decred saw this a few years ago and said, like, you know, if we're going to survive, and as it turned out, it's completely true, and it's taken a lot longer to kind of rebound than even I thought it would. I thought the rebound would probably happen in a couple of years, but the rebound is likely still just a little bit further on. And that was that we've reduced the mining fee. So the amount the miners get paid, and reduce their significance in the actual ecosystem. And I know that Zcash are doing something similar now. They've come up with a couple of things over the last couple of years. The first one was they were going to go pure proof of stake. And then the latest one, which I saw, I think it was just about a month ago, says they're going to move to a hybrid system. So we'll see which one of those happens. But either which way, a lot of these projects now are trying to remove their miners. So in terms of Pharaoh, they're taking their miners supply down from 25% down to 5%. We've obviously taken ours down to 1% now, so we've been really, really harsh for the miners because of the way that they were treating the project, and we kind of got a bit annoyed with that. It's also nice to see that they've got a community and dev fund. So personally, I prefer just having one treasury, but it's nice that they are thinking about these things. And I know that Zcash does a similar thing where they have lots of different pots for lots of different things. So the community and dev pot is staying the same by the looks of it. And it's the master nodes that are seeing the most rewards. And presumably, it's the master nodes now, or their hybrid proof of stake, proof of master node mining, is seeing the most security on their chain, which is quite interesting. So really interesting. I'm really interested to find out how this pans out on their system once it takes effect. The next one then, and this I've got to apologize, with everything that's been happening lately with the privacy release, the peer-to-peer privacy release on Decred and the Bison Wallet and all the other massive of upgrades. I've actually almost completely missed this Decred 2.4 coming out, 2.04 coming out, and it's actually just as significant. Lots and lots of really great improvements and optimizations. So over the next week or so, I'm going to take a delve through this and kind of get myself up to speed on this. Hopefully we can have Dave on to talk us through what's happened there as well. Dave Collins is back on Twitter. Yay! And Dave is one of the great voices in crypto and blockchain. One of the developers that I massively respect. And he understands this stuff better than anyone else I know. And if I've ever got a question like, oh, how does this work, or is this concept that I'm putting forward, is it true? Dave can always give me an example of why it is true or why it isn't true. And I love that. I love that kind of conversation that we have. And over the years, we've had lots and lots of these conversations and massively value his opinion. And if you haven't read this thread, or if you're not following Dave CGH or the real Dave CGH, definitely give him a follow. Absolutely one of the greatest voices in our space. Next, surprise, CZ will never be able to manage Binance ever again. I don't know, but apparently he's been released, and that's part of his deal with the US. Maybe. This was interesting. So the DigiByte community are now kind of looking at, or they've upgraded their DigiByte desktop and their DigiByte assets platforms. And the guys on Wednesday on Master's show were trying this stuff out and kind of sending each other assets and stuff. And it was quite interesting. Well worth having a look at. Like I've said previously, NFTs in their current state isn't something I'm massively I think there's still a lot more to be done actually to make them fully decentralized, fully peer-to-peer. But I actually like the way that these guys do theirs, and from as I can make out, I like the royalty system that they've kind of put in place for it. And I know a few of the other platforms also do this. But I think if you're the creator and being able to keep receiving royalties as these things get traded and sold backwards and forwards, I think it's quite interesting. So if you're interested in NFTs, if you're interested in this stuff, that could be really, really interesting. We've also been talking to some of the Bison Wallet developers about an SPV wallet for DigiByte, which they've now upgraded their full node. So apparently they can actually do this. So that's going to be interesting to find out. Warren Buffett is selling more shares. So now he's almost got 300 billion in cash, ready for the stock market to crash and to scoop up lots of cheap assets, I'm sure. That does seem to be a strategy there. It's quite interesting following this and most people are now predicting that probably we are heading towards a recession. And we have seen over the last week that there's been a massive sell-off of lots of stock, and trillions has been wiped off the market, which is, inevitable, I think. Mt. Gox launching a new crypto exchange. Are you going to trust this guy? Honestly, this is why, Mt. Gox is the perfect example of why we built Bison Wallet, so that you can trade without having to trust anybody, without having to give up custodial your coins to anybody or trust a custodian. Peer-to-peer, if it's not peer-to-peer, all these new exchanges have no place in this space. And this guy's reputation is just ridiculously awful. Uniswap hit with an order by CFTC for illegally trading digital asset derivatives. So presumably they are making crypto versions of already available derivatives, and as if that market isn't big enough already. And here's the wipeout from this week, starting from the 3rd of September. So over 1 trillion, and I think this was the same the week before, actually, over 1 trillion was wiped off the stock market. And then Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are both getting into crypto and tapping up Coinbase for their support and whatnot. Now, as we know, Exodus is one. I mean, Exodus is great, and I love doing the show with him once a month, the State of the Market. But he's done a podcast. It's a little bit outdated, but actual fact, he highlights in this podcast with Saucy XMR, highlights why Bison Wallet is so important. And if you haven't checked it out yet, it's well worth a listen. It's absolutely amazing. And I think that brings us to the end of the news bits. But yeah, check out Exodus's live stream. Now, if you've got any questions, and we've only got one person or two people following, so it's unlikely that we're going to have any questions. Before I head on over to Bison Wallet, let me bring up Bison Relay, and let me just say that if you want to join the conversation, if you want to discuss stuff on Bison Relay, you will get tips for it. This week on the Decred Today channel, we've actually had lots of really good conversations. So we've managed to get most of a lot of the more prominent devs into the conversation to talk about onboarding to Bison Wallet. So we've got Jason Henson, and we've also got Jose from the Digibyte community, who are setting up Digibyte nodes or Digibyte wallets for Bison Wallet as we speak, and they're just being walked through it now. One of the main things here, and if you are watching this at a later date, one of the main things here is we are struggling for support. There isn't enough manpower, lady power, lady power. That's not right. There isn't enough support power in the Bison Wallet dev team to kind of support all of the external wallets as it currently stands. So what we're kind of putting feelers out for is if there's anybody from these communities like Digibyte, Zcash, Dash, Pharaoh that want to get involved in helping support your community on board with those wallets and try it out for yourself and put together docs or put together tutorials, that would absolutely be amazing. Excuse me. That would absolutely be amazing. I think that is something you guys can do from external communities. That's something you can do to actually help us with this process. Obviously, spending dev time, spending Buck's time or Dave C's time actually trying to get Digibyte community onboarded is obviously a massive waste of their time when they should be really coding and honing in this stuff and making it even better. So that's what we're asking for. People that have installed one of these external wallets and have tried it out, if you can put together some docs, if you can put together a tutorial, that would be great. And we'll even see about whether we can incentivize you, and I can chuck over some decred to you just to make sure you are funded for your efforts. And we might be able to, or we should be able to pull all of these resources together into a playlist so that as more people start onboarding and more people have the same questions, they can just watch the video or they can read the docs. So there you go. If you're wanting to help support your communities on board to Bison Wallet, that is the perfect way of doing it. And once again, if you have any questions, um, send me a comment in the Decred Today chat, and I will give you a tip. So here's this week, Jason has been sending me loads and loads and loads of comments. I'm just going to send him over a tip right now, just so he gets that. And fantastic. And I would also do the same for Jose, who's also been helping out massively. Now they may or may not be online, so that might take a little bit of time, but that tip will be paid to them as soon as they come online. So fantastic, guys. And thank you for keep talking. If you've got problems, if you've got issues, if you like something, if you find something complicated, just keep talking. But better still, if you know how to solve this stuff, let's write some docs. Let's get those issues solved. It looks like we've got about 4 people online now. Fantastic. I should say in our stream yesterday, and maybe it's because we were on Twitter and we're only on the Cypherpunk Times YouTube channel now, but we had 217 people watching live, which was absolutely amazing. In future weeks, I am looking to take this over to Twitter as well. At the moment, I'm just having a lot of issues giving them my phone number. For some reason, they just won't accept it. So I've been talking, or I've seen that X has said that there might be a way of prepaying this, so getting an invite. So maybe I might look at that and see if I can get my blue badge that way, just so we can start showing it on Twitter. The other option, of course, is maybe do it as a recording on the main channel. So we'll see. It's still early days with Decred Today, so hopefully it works out. I am really enjoying doing this, but it will ultimately only work if we can get more people involved rather than just me sitting here talking to myself and showing you guys this. The more people we can get involved, the more entertaining this will come, and obviously the more we can do. But the ultimate mission is to get people onboarded. All right, so let's see if we can bring up Bison Wallet. So the bit that you've all been waiting for. Bison Wallet. So we're going to do a few things. Excuse me. I should definitely get some filler music. So we're going to do a few things. We're going to have a look at the wallet. We're going to have a look at the trade area, and then we're going to set up a market maker bot, try and squeeze some of these orders together. If anybody in the chat is wanting to get onboarded, let me know, and we'll try and sort out some kind of DM on Twitter, or I can send you some funds. But I might do that after the show rather than like what happened yesterday, where I'm trying to onboard loads of people at the same time. And ultimately, I would like to see some really nice screenshots of you doing some trades as well. If you're willing to share those screenshots with a nice little tagline, I would be willing to reward you for your efforts in promoting Bison Wallet, just by kind of showing people that this stuff is being used. So the first thing is the wallets area. So that's where we are, and this is where you'll get introduced to initially. So I've currently got the Decred Wallet open, and you can see, as we said in the last few shows, everything's kind of blocked out in these little card forms, and I really love this. So when you're setting up the wallet, if you've got any configurations you want to put in, it's going to happen here. If you don't want to send or receive or see your balances, it all happens in this top box. And pretty much every wallet has these top 2 boxes where it shows you exactly what the Oracle is telling you the exchange rate is and how much you're going to spend on buying or selling on chain. And then going forward, the more boxes you have is actually the extra functionality. I'm not going to turn on the privacy today, but in the next episode, I will. If I turn on the privacy, I believe it will stop me from trading until all of my funds go into the mixed wallet. So I won't do that today, but maybe in the next one, I'll just turn it on and we can see that happening, see peer-to-peer mixing happening in a peer-to-peer exchange, which is it's mind-blowing, isn't it? It's absolutely amazing. So Decred obviously has staking, it obviously has tickets, it obviously has consensus agendas and treasury spends. And here you get to do all of those things as well as buy tickets, which is great. And then obviously on the right hand side, and another note that I should make here, excuse me, another note I should make here is, although it's unlikely that Bison Wallet will turn up on a mobile app, so like in the App Store or whatever, it is actually mobile compatible. So if you grab a corner and you start squeezing, you'll notice that everything is actually being customized to fit on the smallest of screens. Which, if you're running this, say for instance on Umbrel, and you're on a different computer and you tap into your Umbrel account to view all this stuff, no matter what screen you're on, it will customize itself down to that size in the web browser. So although it's unlikely that Bison Wallet will ever be a mobile app, you do have that functionality already just by owning Umbrel and having a web browser on your phone. You can actually make that happen, which I don't think we made that very clear yesterday when we were on the show. But actual fact, it scales to an absolutely small screen. And one of the proposals in the next version of Bison Wallet is this idea that rather than having the advanced trading screen as the first thing you see, there's actually going to be a simple mode. So imagine something like Changely, where you just go on, you enter the amount you want to buy, and the coins you want to swap between, and you press a button, and then it instantly happens. Oh, my internet keeps cutting out. Why is that? Sorry, guys, if this is glitching, I do apologize. There you go. It looks like it's back now. I've got it routed into the wall, so it shouldn't have any issues, but apologies if it is glitching. What was I saying? Yeah, so you are going to be able to use this on a mobile app or an iPad. I have tried it on an iPad in a past version. It was a little bit glitchy, to be fair, but that was a little while ago, and now it's a lot more customized for those screens. So I see that's going to happen, and it's going to be available, which is absolutely great. And then, like I said before, the simple payment method where you just you enter the number of coins you want to buy, enter the coins you want to trade between, and then press go, and it happens. And I think a lot of people would enjoy that. A lot of people, if we head on over to the trading area, a lot of people will see this and go, "Oh my goodness, what's going on here?" And they might get freaked out about it. But the simple pay will basically look like something like this: just this top area, enter your coins, and then just press buy. End of story. And that's all you see, unless you press the advanced tab. And I do think that will be a very necessary thing for a lot of people. I think a lot of people will enjoy that, at least. So other wallets that we have here, other single click wallets. So when I set up the Decred wallet, it was literally click this button, boom, and it worked. And it's the same for Litecoin, same for Polygon, same for Polygon Tether and USDT, and the same for Bitcoin. All of these wallets at the top here are single click installation, and they're all SPV modes. So you're not downloading the whole blockchain. Apart from Polygon isn't an SPV mode, that's a service provider. A bit of a compromise there. But the Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Decred are all SPV modes. So they're really, really light, less than a gigabyte of data. I think Decred is something like 200 meg, and the rest are less than a gigabyte. Now, the rest of them, or at least the majority of these ones, are more advanced wallets. So, for instance, let's go to the Digibyte wallet. When you click on this and you click on the Digibyte wallet, you do have to put in your RPC username, wallet, and all the rest of it, which at the moment can be a little bit daunting. But one thing I would say to you, if you're using Bison Wallet for the first time, just stick with these ones that have the one-click installation and try it out first. I think unless you're an advanced user, you're going to get put off. You're going to get put off having to set up this. That being said, if you are a Digibyte supporter and member, then obviously you are going to want to do this, and hopefully we'll have a guide for you soon enough. So let's head on over to the trade window. And what I want to show in this window is I want to show how to set up a trade and how to cancel a trade. So we'll go to the top one, the one we're on, and we will buy some Decred. I think I've got enough funds. So down here, it tells me I've got 15 available Decred and I've got 26 available USDT. So if I say, look, I want to put one lot in, and I want to put it in at this bid here. Actually, I don't want to put it in at that bid. I want to put it in at, let's put it in at 1160 because I don't actually want it to be taken. If I click this one here, it will be taken instantly by this order. So I don't really want to do that. I just want to put it in close to the order, but I don't want it to be taken. And then I can show you how to cancel it. So I'm buying some Decred. I'm buying one lot. And as you can see, I'm literally buying $1 worth of Decred, $1.16 worth of Decred. And if this trade was to complete, it would cost me less than a fraction of a penny, which is absolutely amazing. This is something that the community has been asking for a long, long time. And I've just realized my face is on the wrong side. So let's put that on the other side. The community has been asking for this for a long, long time. That in order to be able to try out this stuff, you really want to be able to try it out with the lowest possible amount. And to be fair, $1, pretty much everyone can afford that. And yeah, I think it's literally $1 to sign up and sign a bond now. So you can actually start using Bison Wallet. That being said, in the coming weeks, we will be giving away prepaid bonds. So there'll be no need for that either. We'll pay your bonds for you so you can get started and trying this stuff out. So here we go. 11.6 is where I'm going to head for. I'm going to buy some Decred and I'm going to place this order. It's going to give me some information. So it's going to tell me that it's a limit order. It's going to tell me the price I'm putting it in for. It's going to the quantity that I want to buy, so the amount of Decred that I want to buy, and how many I'm going to buy. If I'm happy and the projected fees, the on-chain fees for this are 0.29%. So really, really small. But let's just do it. So give it a couple of seconds. That dotted line, that's me entering the books. And there are epochs, so pockets of time where orders can be entered and withdrawn. And what this does is it stops front running. So like on major exchanges, there are no time restrictions. So say, for instance, a user enters a trade. What normally happens on things like Binance and things like Coinbase, you'll see the trade walk away from you. Just the way these things work. So they see your trade coming in there, you'll see it walk away from you. And that's something that can get quite annoying. Whereas on Bison Wallet, these are all epochs, so people can't all see that trade is coming in a fraction of a second and then front run you by kind of either moving the trade away or purchasing a bunch more in order to front run your trade. Yeah, so that was a terrible explanation of front running, but that's the general idea. Is though that nothing can be taken off the order books and replaced. Everything has to fit into those. I think it's 3 seconds. Really is quite small. So we place this one. I can probably do the other order as well. So let's just put a sell order on as well. And if I put the sell order on at 11.65, that will make sure that it also doesn't get taken. And I can say, right, place this order, and I have enough funds. So we're going to sell DCR this time. And if I'm happy, I can just press the sell order. And once again, you've got that 3 seconds epoch time where it comes into the order book and then it will get placed. And there we go. So now we've got this lovely margin of 0.43%, which is absolutely great. But what I want to do is show you guys how to cancel this. So we can come down to the order books. We can see they're booked, so they're not settling. So once they start settling, if someone took this off now, you wouldn't be able to cancel it. You just have to kind of see it through. And I think if you do end up canceling it by turning off your machine or whatever, you would get reputation points against you. So be very careful of that. Also worth mentioning that if you are going to do some trades, that your machine has to be on at all times throughout the trade. If it goes off, the trade will not be successful, and you will get penalty points. So you must make sure the trade is on at all times. That being said, if it goes off for a few minutes, normally that wouldn't be a problem as long as you turn the system straight back on. But If it goes off for long periods of time, that does become a massive issue. So in order to turn this off, you've got two buttons. The X is the turning off button, but you can also see the details. Let's show you details first. So when you go into the details, say, right, this is on the order books. These are the funding coins. So then if I go back to trade, scroll back down, and then I can just say, okay, I just want to turn them off. So I just press the X. Are you sure you want to do this? And absolutely. And then once again, within that time slot, they will get removed and that will get cancelled. And let's just do that with the other side as well. So hopefully that makes it really, really clear how to put orders on the books and how to cancel. And as you can see, it's ridiculously simple. It's ridiculously simple. Okay, one final thing then. One final thing, I just want to show the market maker. Now, this is something that I'm still getting my head around. And once again, I will make a little tutorial for this, but once you get your head around it, it's fairly self-explanatory. Now, we'll do a market maker for DCR USDT. So if we click on this robot icon, and then we say, right, what market maker do we want? What market maker do we want to make? And currently, there is a Binance and a Binance USA arbitrage bots that we can set up. So if you have these accounts and you want to arbitrage between Bison Wallet and Binance, you can do that. In future releases, they are looking at arbitrage bots for decentralized exchanges, so DEXs, presumably things like Thorchain and Basic Swap. But they're also looking at arbitrage bots for Coinbase as well, which will be really, really useful in terms of the USDC, USDT pairs. So that could be really exciting. Like I said, I might need somebody else to do a tutorial on this because I actually don't have a Binance account, but I do have a Coinbase account. So when that one comes out, I will definitely do that one and try and make that happen. So first thing, so we've just clicked on the robot icon. Now we click on the create a bot button. And then which one do we want to do? Now we want to do DCR USDT. And once again, we have all these options, but the only one available to me is a basic market maker. So once we select that, we just press submit. Now from here, we can actually set up a whole bunch of things, but we'll just keep this really, really simple. So you can actually tweak all of these parameters and how many lots you want to put on both sides and things like that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this manual configuration. We have a few strategies. Percentage plus fees is probably the best one for most people. So it works out the percentage, but it also works out the rough estimate of fees that you're going to use as well. Now, yesterday when I did the show, I ran my market maker bot on this pair for about 2 hours and I made 4 cents, which is absolutely great. And that was based over, I think, 6 trades. And that was at 0.5 spread, which is, yeah, absolutely great. Never made money on market making bots before, only ever lost it. So that was awesome. And to see that the fees have been put in there as well to make sure you're not losing money on fees whilst you're placing these markets or making these markets is really good. So the first one that comes in is a 2%, so 2% away from the spread, and it does give you an indication of what that will look like below. So what I think is going to be a really profitable strategy is going to be that 1% one, or even ever so slightly closer to that. So like I did yesterday, I'm going to put up 2 lots at 1% and press OK. And then I'm going to put 2 lots at 1% on the sell side as well. So I'm taking both sides of the bid. Now, just for fun, we're going to get even closer than that. So yesterday, I did 0.5. So yeah, let's do a 0.5. But we'll also get even closer than that. I think I did a 2.5 as well and see what that looks like. Now, just see what we're looking like. So it would make sense for me to kind of move these up. So let's get them in the right order. There we go. Hopefully that'll update in a moment. Let's just do one more then. Hopefully I've still got enough funds. So at the moment, I need 1 Decred on that side, which I have enough of. And on this side, I need 12 tether, which I have enough of. So we're good to go on that. So let's do another 2 lots at 0.25, which should get us really close. Once again, let's take that right to the top. We'll do 2 lots, 0.25 on this side. And let's get that right close to the top as well. And you can activate these bots and deactivate them at any time. So if you're not going to be online all the time, it's just one click to actually activate them and one click to deactivate them. So I'll show you both processes. Make sure we're all set up. Make sure there's no orders touching. If they are touching, you're going to kind of complete your own order, which you don't really want to do that. So let's press create bot. Okay, we've got that. Now it says, as long as you're happy, so you need 1.4 Decred, you need 17 Tether, and you need 1.2 Matic. Presumably that is just to make sure that you can do lots of trades, because 1.2 Matic actually should do you about just short of 100 trades. So that's presumably so you can just keep going backwards and forwards. And I think we're good. So let's allocate and run. Once you press that, the final check, you have all the funds, you're ready to go. So just press the play button. And there you go. It's now been running for 1 second and so on. So if you wanted to stop it, you can. So you can just press the stop button. You can close Bison Wallet down and it will take all of those orders off of the books. So now you can see they're being placed. Let's head back over to the trade window. And you should be able to see my trades coming in. So let's see what happens here. And there they are. So I'm still miles away from that spread though. I thought that would get me a lot closer. I wonder why. It must be something to do with the fees maybe. So let's just do that as an experiment, and let's just turn it off. Just press stop. We'd have to wait for the the Bison to stop spinning, and let's go in and edit it, and let's see if we can get even closer. See what happens if we add a few more. So they're all being cancelled now. There we go. So all the orders have been cancelled. Absolutely no worries at all there. So let's go back into our settings. And we're back to the same window. We'll go back to the configure manual. So maybe I might be doing something wrong here. So it has changed this to 0.3. This to 0.9. Oh, that's interesting. So I might have to have a play around with a few more of these settings. I mean, I could try one more. Let me just put one in and let's go 0.1 just to see if that works. Let's do the same on this side. One lot at 0.1 to see if it closes it up. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have a look at these settings. I won't do that now, but I'll come back next week with my findings. So we've got 0.1. That's going to be, look at that. That should be really, really close. So let's just try it. I hope that doesn't sell on itself. Could be an interesting phenomena. Here we go. Okay, here they come. And we can head on over to the trade window and we see that they're still not very close. So yeah, there's obviously something else I've got to do there to kind of tighten those spreads up, but we should have 5 orders there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on either side. Yeah, absolutely. And it is, I mean, it is a lot closer. It's under the 1%, which is kind of what I wanted to see. I want to see it get under that 1%, get it as close as possible. And you definitely want to see that when it comes to the USDC to USDT pairs. I mean, at the moment, you've got 2%, some orders on there, though. Actually, let's check the orders. During the show yesterday, the Litecoin pair, Litecoin USDT, I got ridiculously close. The margin was really, really tight. Ah, that's a shame. It looks like we've lost all the other side, the orders on that one, which is the buying Litecoin. People are trying to sell Litecoin. One Litecoin, I think. We could buy that Litecoin. Maybe we'll do it after the show. We're just about to finish. If you guys have got any questions, if you like what you're seeing, it'd be interesting to hear your views on this. But as you can see, we're almost at the week point, the 1 week of release. That one doesn't exist, by the way. This because I've got the test exchange on, it's giving me this order book, but it actually doesn't exist. So yeah, you won't see that one. But yeah, the main, I mean, as you can see, the main mission is going to be getting constant orders. And I've said this several times now. One of my missions is actually getting a machine I can just put in the corner and just leave it running. Currently this one's running on my laptop, so it's, you know, it's not really feasible for me to leave it open all the time, because sometimes I just close the lid because it's a Mac and it literally shuts everything off. And obviously when you're running Bison Wallet, you're not allowed to do that. If you do that and someone tries to take one of your orders, you could get penalized for it, which would be a pain. Yeah. Anywho, I think I've showed you guys everything that I wanted to. So I'm just about to sign off. We're just over the hour mark, but hopefully, I mean, I covered everything I wanted to say. The only thing I would say is obviously, I want to start getting some more guests on. I want to start getting people on with the sole reasoning of getting them to try this stuff out, getting them to use Bison Wallet, getting them to use Bison Relay, and getting to talk about all this stuff and get their feedback, get their thoughts, because it's not until we expose people to this that they actually say, all right, this works this well, but maybe I want this little thing, or maybe I want that little thing. And it's not until you do that you can start having the honest discussion about how we take these things forward. Already this week, we were talking about the Matic pair, and how maybe we could improve that. As you know, Matic is actually, most of us are now locked out of Polygon until tomorrow, because all the centralized exchanges are upgrading the Matic protocol. So they've locked down their send and receive accounts. So everything you're seeing on Bison Wallet, stuff that was me holding non-custodial and other people are holding non-custodial, anything that was custodial, we can't use. So tomorrow should be interesting when people like myself can start taking off my Matic off of Coinbase and places like that. That should get really interesting. Air, Sand and Fire, hello, how you doing, my friend? Have you tried out Bison Wallet yet? I mean, yeah. So hopefully tomorrow we'll see more Matic coming. But there is one fundamental thing that a lot of people have kind of have aired their point about, and that is that in order to trade Matic, so if I bring that screen back up before we head up, let me just bring that screen back up. So apparently, in order to trade Matic, so in order to participate in this trade here, this DCR to Matic, you actually need a tiny bit of Matic to make that happen, which is, in my mind, that's kind of like, it's a bit backward. But a lot of people are saying places like Coinbase, places like Thorchain, places like that, they're actually using people's fees as a way of kind of subsidizing that. And we were talking about maybe getting some kind of force it, yeah, some kind of pool of money where when people onboard to Bison Wallet and they pay their bond maybe or something like that, they actually get their first bit of Matic for free. And it doesn't have to be a great deal. It literally it has to be something like 0.001 or no 0.01 in order to complete their first trade, which can be to buy more Matic. And once you have more Matic, then you can start trading between all of their pairs. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a nuance that's a bit strange, really. But hopefully maybe it won't be that big a deal. And really and truly, once you've got 0.1 or 0.5 Matic, you can do literally like 50 trades. So 0.1 Matic is like 10 trades you can do. So yeah, you can actually do a lot with very little. So for the sake of a quid, you can do, or $1, you can do like over 100 trades. But yeah, it's a very interesting. Oh, they've all cancelled for some reason. It's a very interesting thing, but I suppose it's because it's a layer 2 protocol, and because it is so much cheaper than things like Ethereum. When we just had the USDC pair on Ethereum, no one used it. I don't think in the whole time it was there for like over 2 years, anyone used it, because the fees, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. It cost you so much money, like $100 to trade 100 quid or something like that. I don't know, maybe that's an exaggeration, but it wasn't cheap. It was absolutely crazy. And then obviously we had the problem with Bitcoin fees going through the roof, and it's one of the drawbacks of on-chain platforms, or peer-to-peer on-chain platforms, is when a particular chain becomes saturated, that's when the fees go up. And having multiple pairs that can take on the burden. So for instance, if you can't use Bitcoin for a week, you can use Litecoin, or you can use Polygon, or you can use something else. It doesn't become a massive burden. Guys, I think that is pretty much it. Let me just see if there's any more questions over on Bison Relay. Remember, if you do want to get tips on Bison Relay, join the Decred Today channel, and I'll send you tips for your engagement. If you want to come on the show, or you know somebody that we should invite on the show to try out this stuff, definitely kind of invite them. Let's make this a community place where we can talk about this stuff openly and honestly. SN and Fire has said, price fundamental when it comes to cryptocurrencies, store of value. Hopefully we bring back the price fundamentals too. DCR BTC starting to look good after years of falling. Yeah, I talked about that at the beginning. Actually, it's really nice. This week we've seen some really nice momentum. For the first time in maybe 2 months, maybe even 3 months, we've actually gone past that 0.001 stage. Let me just check that. Let me just bring that up on the DCR data. But yeah, so for well over a couple of months, we've been like 0.0001 something, and now we've just started creeping above that into the twos. And hopefully we can get back to some proper price recognition. I mean, that's the hope. The momentum has definitely changed. You can feel that this week, and it would be nice to see that continue. But obviously, this will only continue if you guys use this stuff. If we all use this stuff and find ways of using this stuff and tell everyone about it, and kind of, it's ready. There's no reason we shouldn't be shouting to the hills, telling people this stuff is ready, because it does work. It's fast, it's cheap, it's peer-to-peer, it's non-custodial, it has market makers. It's a really good package, and it's gonna get even better. Feedback, guys. I think that's my lot. Any of you guys want to come on the show next week? Give me a shout. It'd be lovely to have you on here. Lovely to talk to you. Until then, I will see you. Oh, hold on, I've got my outro. Got to play my outro. Let's do the arbitrage one from Carumbles. Thank you for this, Carumbles. Absolutely amazing, guys. I'll see you next week. Take care.
In the world of centralized exchanges, opportunities are hidden in the price, and profits can be found where others see only chaos. Arbitrage is the art of buying low and selling high instantly. In the crypto universe, prices can vary across exchanges. Bison Wallet's arbitrage bot can spot the differences before anyone else. Price changes, fees, and network delays can eat into profits. As the crypto world evolves, so do the opportunities for arbitrage. With new exchanges, decentralized finance platforms, and cross-chain technology, the possibilities are endless. In the end, it's not just about making profits, it's about mastering the digital frontier. Go to bisonwallet.org and trade USDC, USDT, and various coins with the integrated arbitrage bot tools. Free and decentralized atomic swaps.